Hello, my name is Tracy Scrans, President and CEO of Focal Research. On behalf of my colleagues, I'm proud to introduce you to Prevent, the evolution of safer gambling. I would like you all to pause for just a moment and completely shift your mindset about how industry can be active partners in reducing gambling risk and harm. Not just identifying it, limiting damage, or referring people to help, but to measurably, practically prevent it from happening in the first place. This means doing something completely different than we've ever done before. I want you to move ahead of finding indicators of harm or detecting changes in play patterns, and imagine being able to act at a pivotal moment in time, before behavior change, before harm has even occurred. What if we could identify certain play events that preceded changes leading to harm? We could then instantly deliver simple, meaningful messages or actions that could disrupt that outcome in completely new ways that is less stressful and confronting for staff and customers. Not only is it easier, less labor-intensive, and more cost-effective to prevent problems than to treat them after the fact, but it also instantly makes safer, responsible gambling relevant for everyone, not just those already experiencing harm. This also reduces the stigma and barriers impacting uptake and use of the many resources available to help guests manage their play. Triggering events can happen for anyone while gambling, and sometimes a gentle nudge, a timely reminder, or interruption can make all the difference in supporting better choices. It then makes safer gambling about connecting with customers in positive, supportive ways rather than policing or correcting. It's simply part of good customer service and good business to make sure everyone gambling at your venue or site has relevant information to make informed, better decisions for themselves. That is the premise of Focal Prevent, and it completely changes how we think about player protection and safer gambling. Prevent is a new way of managing risk, supporting sustainable recreational play specifically designed for actioning in real time. Purpose-built for land-based and being adapted for digital operators, this safer gambling management system uses live or near-live data streams to continue to deliver the safer gambling trifecta. Algorithms for detecting risky play patterns and indicators of harm, regulatory rules for additional compliance, but now including behavioral and in-game triggers for pre-harm preventative action for both member and non-member coverage. Using live data and a set of custom risk detection models and validated universal behavioral triggers, Prevent can now flag risky events that, when triggered, initiate tailored responses via staff alerts, on-device messages, or through customer-facing resources. Since risky events can occur for anyone, this normalizes customer interactions, reducing the stigma associated with the use of RG tools, proactively preventing harm, not just identifying it. Built on decades of applied research and operational testing, Prevent bridges the gap between compliance, prevention, and proactive harm reduction. This directly supports customers in managing their own play decisions when it matters, opening up a whole new world of opportunities for how industry can be partners in promoting sustainable gambling. To date, most safer gambling policy and practice was shaped by insight from prevalence data, treatment populations, clinicians, psychologists, all primarily driven by the urgent goal to identify and assist problem gamblers and reduce harm through early harm intervention, treatment referrals, self-exclusion, and banning. Due to sampling, most of this public health-based research tends to compare treatment population and problem gamblers to casual past-year gamblers. Since almost all problem gamblers tend to play on a regular monthly basis, not surprisingly, intensity and frequency of play emerge as one of the strongest predictors of risk. Basically, those who gamble regularly, just like those who engage in any other activity more often, are more likely to experience consequences associated with their consumption. The more you drive, consume alcohol, smoke, play golf, run marathons, or gamble, the the more likely you are to experience consequences associated with the activity. Yet, when we look at player data and behavior within the regular player base, a very different picture emerges. In fact, most regular gamblers are not experiencing problems with their gambling at any given time and tend to move in and out of risk depending upon what else is happening in their lives. Historically, clinicians, psychologists, and regulators have had little access to player data to examine differences between regular versus risky play patterns. As a result, efforts to mitigate risk and harm are largely focused on restricting access and engagement in the activity, rather than identifying how to keep customers safe during play. While public health approaches have been very helpful in telling us what to do, they aren't necessarily effective in defining how to do it. For that, we need behavioral science. For over 3 decades, the Focal team has been using labeled player data sets for predictive modeling exclusively for safer gambling purposes, and it has been a constant evolution. Since mid-1990s, Focal has built hundreds of risk detection algorithms validated against gold standard risk measures, and our award-winning Alert Better Protection System and Better Customer Care program has been used on the gaming floor since 2005 to deliver thousands of safer gambling customer interactions with proven impact in producing improved outcomes for players, ideally by delivering the right message to the right customer at the right time. While it was challenging identifying risk and harm, our true goal was always to find a way to prevent it from happening in the first place, but it simply was not possible without access to live data feeds and system integration. So it's taken us a bit longer to do the impossible. Over the past 35 years, we've been preparing for this opportunity. We created a hierarchy of effects model using player data to map out how problems develop. We generated the trouble chain, produced flags, a validated instrument for measuring pre-harm risk, and then developed the affordability model, as well as a set of 24 potential universal behavioral triggers and events. We tested these over different data sets with multiple operators in 4 different countries. First shared our research at the International Regulators Conference in Botswana in 2023, and since then have refined and tested with co-funding through the Canadian National Research Council over the past 3 years. Rapid digitalization, accessible computational power, machine learning, generative and agentic AI is transforming the gambling industry globally. The ease of entry has put unprecedented pressure on the regulated market that it's still having to respond with analog strategies while competing against non-regulated operators in a digital world. The opportunity exists to augment the harm-based corrective approach using a behavioral prevention approach, and with access to live data streams in real time, the time is now, and we are ready. The past 18 months have been Focal's most transformative period yet, as regulators are looking to operators to act in real time to reduce risk and harm using evidence-based tested and validated measures. We completely reimagined safer gambling technology, not only moving player protection upstream in terms of pre-harm prevention, but making it mainstream by expanding coverage to safeguard all of those choosing to gamble. This is a fundamental shift that is only possible with real-time data streams. Prevent is a completely new way of managing risk, supporting sustainable recreational play specifically designed for actioning in real time. Prevent is a real-world solution built with consultation and input from operators, regulators, public health, and system architects. It is now no longer speculative. The technology is scalable and seamlessly integrated, incorporating a real-world, practical workflow to automatically prioritize actions based on predefined cues and rules. The process is transparent, explainable, and verifiable for operators and regulators with built-in evaluation to assess impacts. Currently being trialed in Queensland, Australia, Kedron Wavell is using our affordability model to trigger automated messages and in-person staff support. As the first tool of its kind, Prevent marks a significant shift in how risk is identified and managed by supporting real-time actions during play, permitting risk coverage for account-based, carded, and anonymous play uncarded. Prevent includes a comprehensive suite of resources: Go, which is our award-winning mobile app to support staff on the floor; Care, a 24/7 online training portal providing operators with essential customer care and product training resources to support frontline teams; and Assist, which is a new digital customer-facing tool for destigmatizing safer gambling conversations and empowering guests to make informed choices with interactive and engaging resources. This is what the evolution of better customer care looks like. On behalf of our dedicated team at Focal Research, I am so proud to welcome you to Prevent, the next generation of customer-centered sustainable gambling.